Another statement, Alhaji Tanko Yakanssai has raised an alarm over a plot by some undemocratic elements to manipulate the results of the forthcoming presidential election with its attendant consequences. Kano Focus reports that the politician raised the alarm in a press statement titled Reflections of a 98-year-old Patriot, a message to those planning to rig the elections issued to journalists on Sunday. He explained that his fear was rooted in the fact that when people are consumed by their inordinate desires, they become blind to the bigger picture. The former special advisor to the late President Shehu Shagari said, "My concern is not for myself, but for Nigeria and its people. I believe that for Nigeria to properly care for its teeming, God-given population, everyone in the country must live in peace and harmony." Yakanssai, in the signed statement, said, "Those who prioritize winning the upcoming elections at all costs may not understand my concern for the survival of Nigeria and its people, which only stems from my patriotism." He lamented that unfortunately there are unpatriotic individuals who are solely focused on their own selfish and narrow interests and do not care about the future of the country and its people. Yakanssai's strong-worded statement reads in part, and I quote, "I have been pondering on what motivates those who plan to rig or scuttle the upcoming elections in Nigeria, and particularly the presidential election. Do they believe they can do so without consequences?" In 1966, when the first attempted military coup was made, I was at that time the National Publicity Secretary of the Northern Element Progressive Union, Secretary of the Northern Progressive Union Front, and Deputy National President of the Nigeria Youth Congress, during which I witnessed the tragic events of the 1966 coup attempt, in which late Chukwuma Nzeogu and his brother misguided associates assassinated Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, our first and so far the prime minister for Nigeria. Can you imagine that this man, you say you are patriots, and meanwhile you are coming out to tell us that from Igbo extraction that they kill out Abubakar Tafawa Balewa? What does that tell you? There's that hatred again, and you say you are patriots. You cannot choose your words. And some people have come to argue that that was not what happened. And you are coming out and, I don't really understand, because I didn't really want to interject in what he's been saying. I wanted to go finish everything before I will bring my own opinion. But this one is just too heavy. To me, it's a speech. You are patriot, and yet you are saying this kind of a thing. Are you causing division? Are you causing hatred? Or you are causing unity among the people? He says, Sir Ahmadu Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto, also the only premier of northern Nigeria, Brigadier General Zakaria Memalari, Colonel Yakubu Pam, Colonel Ku Mohammed, and other military officers were murdered by the coup plotters. I was also present during the Kano riots, which was a response to the murders of Abubakar Tafawa Balewa and others I mentioned earlier. The tragic event resulted in the loss of many innocent lives and took place in various parts of northern Nigeria. The exact number of casualties, both military and civilian, has yet to be determined. From this tragedy, I learned that when people are consumed by their inordinate desire, they become blind to the bigger picture. This is why I want to advise those considering manipulating the results of coming presidential elections not to take any actions that could plunge our nation into catastrophe. At 98 years old, and as the only surviving child of my parents, why with only a few relatives, all I have are my children and grandchildren. I am a billionaire. Wow, not even a businessman. My concern is not myself, but for Nigeria and its people. I believe that for Nigeria to properly care for its teeming God-given population, everyone in the country must live in peace and harmony. While some may not share this patriotic concern, it is born from my patriotism and desire for the survival of Nigeria and the well-being of its people. There are also those who are only concerned with their own selfish interests and unconcerned about the country and its people. Such people are callous and unpatriotic. Furthermore, it is crucial that Nigeria develops in order to properly care for its burgeoning population. This can only be achieved if the country remains united, peaceful, and harmonious. Those who patronize or prioritize winning the upcoming election at all costs may not understand my concern for the survival of Nigeria and its people, which only stems from the patriotism. I can assure all that this concern is genuine. I am in politics for patriotic reasons, not personal gain, we hear. Unfortunately, there are unpatriotic individuals who are solely focused on their own selfish and narrow interests and do not care about the future of the country and its people. But there are many Nigerians who are only concerned about the country's prosperity and of its people, but who are concerned about peace and harmony as well as the peaceful coexistence of the over 200 million of its people and humanity. I therefore urge patriotic citizens to rise in defense of our motherland and its future, not to allow the tiny misguided minority among Nigerians who are not looking at the greater picture of the country. We should together engage in a cooperative understanding and doing our utmost endeavors and synergy to save the country and protect its future. The man said he's a billionaire and he's not a businessman. So how did he make his money? That he's not even speaking for, he's just speaking for himself. He's speaking for Nigerians. You are speaking for Nigerians, and in your words, hey, you didn't even choose your word rightly. And that statement you made, you think he's going to go well with a lot of people. You are causing division. If you are patriotic, you will choose your word. And I understand that this man is rooting for Tinubu. So I don't really understand where all of those things are coming from. If you are patriotic in the real sense, I think those who you are gunning for, you are running after to succeed Buhari, you will not be doing that. Oh my God, what elder sees why sitting children cannot see it, even they climb an iroko tree. The elder supposed to give useful advice, prevailed those aspire and recycling politicians not to rule to younger, not to give room to the younger generation irrespective of their tribe and religion. Unfortunately, those elders shouldn't even see the Buhari's failures coming in 2015, or should have seen it. They couldn't see it in 2015. 98 years old billionaire who is not a businessman. Pray, how did you make your money? At your age, you ought to be an elder statesman, not by your admission of being one, but by one perception of you. You are too old to sow discord in the polity. God bless you. I pity the man because instead of respecting himself at his age, he's been an alarmist. You do not even have any concern for Nigeria. What have you done to show your concern for Nigerians when Boko Haram were slaughtering thousands of people during Jonathan? It was this your arrogance and the arrogance of your people that led to the civil war in Nigeria. Now, an elderly person is talking and warning us that some people are planning to throw Nigeria into darkness like they did in 1993. You are saying he should shut up his mouth. You only opened old wounds. True patriots, which you are not one of, stand with General Obasanjo, Pa Adebanjo, Afenifere, Pa Edwin Clark, and others. Patriots stand for equity, fairness, and justice. Your present position is worse than the election riggers that portend danger, which is true. You can imagine that, that statement alone, it has really scattered all what he even said. He's a billionaire. He's not a business person. And like I asked, people said, how did you make the money? Let's leave story for others to be able to judge. All of them, they have contributed in one way or the other in the mess that we have found ourselves in this country, telling us that it's patriot. It's just repeating that. So guys, let's know what you think and have your take on this. Thank you.